All right, welcome back to part 3 of the Circles Budget series that we're doing here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We really miss you. It's been too long, and I hope we can get together soon again and enjoy fellowship and a meal and just each other's company. And so I hope this series has been helping you along the way, and hopefully it will wrap up and all together and really point us in a good direction as we continue this. Again, with budgeting and with finances, it's never done, right? We always have to be mindful and intentional about this our entire life, or it'll get away from us. So this is hopefully beginning some good habits and just some good ways of thinking about our money. When we allow our money to control us or fear to enter in, then we just live in this world of fear and anxiety about money. But when we put boundaries and numbers and intentionality behind our money, then we can live more freely, right? And we can really just move through this life without the fear and anxiety of how will I respond to my money tomorrow. But if we are in control of our money, then there's freedom, and money doesn't cause us to freak out or to make poor decisions around it or anxiety around it, because it just compounds the money situation that we're all in. So hopefully part 1, you did your homework there again, that you were able to look at your dream, your goals, your circles plan, what your family sustainably needs to live financially. What is that expense of all the categories that we spend money in? What is that total annual budget? What do we need for 1 year to live, right? And then last week we talked about how are we going to get there? What is your dream? How are you going to reach your family's annual goal? What does that look like for a career path? What does it look like for jobs that I have to go after and look for to work for me that I'm interested in and that is financially viable, that will work out the equation? So we talked about that. Again, if you didn't do those homework assignments, please don't go on to this one. Pause, stop, go back to those videos, do that homework, work that out with your allies, and come to a good point with your family and your allies there. So today we're going to get in the real world. We're going to enter back to not the real world, but the current world, right? The current situation that you're living in. And today then we have some tools that we sent out also that are I would encourage you to probably use. But again, none of this it's just all be done on a simple notebook again, and you can scratch this all out, calculable. But thank you to Lauren and the bank. We did send out, and part of it is this Excel document or document that you can actually do on your computer that will calculate it out for you. There's a really cool program there, software file there that you can use. We also have them in paper and pencil, things that I would encourage you that you could do. But again, it can all just be recorded in a notebook as well. If it's overwhelming, the other things are overwhelming, do not let that stop you. So we're basically going to look today is really just an opportunity to look at exactly what you are currently doing, right? And so there's this, I would say you can do this in your notebook, but there's also, first you start with your income. There's this sheet of paper and just write, what are you expecting you're going to budget for 1 month, right? What are you expecting to get this month from everything, from your pay at your job? If you have unemployment, you put that there. If you're getting any public benefits, if it's food share, if it's health insurance, put that all in the value that you're getting, interest or gifts or anything that you're expecting to get in the income category. Put that down, that what you're expecting to get this month, what you're expecting, right? And then you will see there's a second column that is what are you actually getting. So then you, at the end of the month, you save all of your W-2s, say all of your transaction statements of all the income you have, and at the end of the month, what did you actually get this month, and how does that compare? So then that helps you better plan for next month, right? If you were way under, if you earned way less, then you may have to budget less income next month, or you at least explain to yourself why that's the case. If you were way over, then that can help plan for your next month. So do that all for the income, right? You're recording all of your income on the first sheet there, on the first section of the first page in your notebook. Track what you expect to get this month, and then what you actually got, you will do at the end of the month. So it's really important to do this. You can be looking at it, early in the month and then at the end of the month. And you can do a month in advance too. At the same time you're doing the actuals, you can then right away do your next month's budget that way, or what you're expecting. And then go move right on to your expenses. What are you expecting to spend this month? What are you expecting to go out this month? And so you can see right here just savings, and we put that on top because it's important to know that that money is just as it's spent, even though it's in an account in the bank and it's still your money. Like I talked about when you're budgeting with your car or your future car, right? That dollar amount that you have in order to reach your $5,000 car in 5 years is already, you have to treat it like it's already been spent. So every month you should make sure you put that, what you're saving for a car, emergency fund, college, whatever you're saving for, that money is already spent. It's already gone, even though it's still there. And then what are you going to spend for rent or mortgage? What are you doing for taxes or water? Again, if you're not paying your insurance this month, but you know that you're going to pay it in 6 months, break it down. What you should have there, what you should save for the future, right? So all of that, even if the money's not going out, but you already know you're going to 6 months from now, things like insurance, taxes, and things like that account for that on that item. Okay, and you can just go down the category, fill in that, and again, there's a lot of blanks on here, so write in if there is, and if something doesn't relate to you, obviously leave it blank. Or again, if you're just using a notebook, you just write what you need in your expense category. Write the category, write the amount you expect, and then at the end of the month, you're going to be writing what you actual. So that's what you're doing there. You're recording all the income, all the expenses. And I know that, I know in the classes we were handing out those, your save every receipt and write down every weekly expense. That also we included for you to have. Again, if you want to write it down in a notebook, if I would encourage you, everything you buy, make sure you get a receipt. If you don't, email yourself, text yourself right away. For some reason you didn't get a receipt, put it in, even if you just put it in an envelope or a box or a shoe box, so that when it comes to the end of the month and you're doing all your actuals, every penny is accounted for. If you're doing your end of the month and you made $4,000 this month and you have no money left, but in your budget only shows that you spent $2,000, well, something, obviously something went wrong. Either you got robbed or you just didn't save all your receipts. So and that's not that helpful if you find out that you're hundreds of dollars off of what you've brought in and what you've spent. So it's very important to save everything. That's where it takes diligence, and that's where you can turn to your allies and say, hold me accountable. You can turn to your spouse or your family members and say, hold me accountable. I'm really bad at saving receipts. Whenever I go to, the gas station, I always forget to save my receipt. So, build some of those things. So right away, as you're budgeting this month and you're doing the expectations, at the same time, start saving everything you spend, everything that's going out, and then also be mindful of what will be going out 6 months from now, that you can divide that by 6 and put it in this month that way. So this is where I know it's grueling, and this is where it's tedious, and where it can be annoying because you're actually seeing your money go out and things like that, and you got to do it every day, right? You have to think about this every day. So I just encourage you, it's worth it. The work put in now will pay dividends years down the road. The freedom that you have when it's put on a piece of paper and it's documented and it's not just hanging out in your head of like, I don't really remember where that all went. There's so much, you can breathe a lot easier if you just do this. So my main thing is not so much how you do it, which document you use, which paper, notebook. That's totally what works for you. But if I can just press into you, please do it. You will not regret it. And if you forget to do it this week, just do it again next week. Don't take the whole month off. Get right back on it and do it. And it is a long process, and it might be crazy at home and all that kind of stuff, but you won't regret it. It'll pay off. So I hope these series are helpful. Again, if you forget things or if you want to ask questions, feel free to ask your ally, ask one of us, and we can help talk you through it. If there's other materials that you're looking for, or you need questions, you don't know how to calculate something out, or how do you figure this out for your situation, please reach out and ask for specific questions. But hopefully this gives you the basics of where we're going, and we will use all of this homework that you're doing when we get back together. We will continue to use this going forward, so please do it. It will be very helpful for your family to reach your circle's goals and your financial stability and that freedom that comes with that. So God bless. I hope you guys are doing well and look forward to the time when we can be together again. Thank you.